groovy.
Hello. Welcome to another edition of the Knife Party Podcast, where we leave it all on the cutting room floor. I'm, of course, your illustrious host, Zach Evergreen. Joining with me today is, of course, my part-time partner in crime. That would be Antonius Montana.
Oh, hello.
Yes, well, we all have a little wrestling bug because of what we've been doing, so yeah, let that be games again. And also on the right corner, my second favorite Patreon, and that would be H1N1 Zombie.
Ooh, yeah.
What's up, everybody?
We just got...
Today's knife is a really large kitchen knife. She's kind of holding and screaming, no, don't do it.
There you go. How about...
Oh, no, please don't.
Oh, we got
She was so polite about it.
We got a lot to talk about today. So I'm surprised we went 90 episodes in, and or whatever. We're almost at 100. Like,
yeah.
I just don't even know where we're at right now till they actually tell me the exact number. I could count, but fuck that. But 90th review, just about. I'm depending on how I order these. Like, for instance, I wanted Pee-wee to be episode 86 because it came out in 86, right? I want Batman 89 to be 89 because it came out in 89. Shining came out in 1980, so there's no way we're going to be able to do that. But we are doing The Shining, and of course we're doing the real one, not the Stephen King one. I'll explain. And we can't just review the movie. I mean, we're going to, but there's so many fucking threads to this movie, and I know you all have probably seen them. There's a whole documentary. Let me adjust this. Sorry about that. There's a whole documentary you could watch called Room 237, and while some of their theories are cool, a lot of them are very crackpotty or just like stoner, like, whoa, dude, you know what I just realized? The moon is 237,000 miles away from Earth, dude. And if you mix up the word room 237, it means moon room. I've actually heard somebody say that. And I'm like, what?
I don't doubt it. Yeah.
So we're going to go in heavy, a deep dive on what the fuck is The Shining really about and what's going on. And then we'll go over the movie itself and tell our thoughts about it. So, again, this is I'm not going to say the making of, but this has to be in two parts. It just does. Or else we'll be here for like 4 fucking hours, right? Hopefully I'll get you guys
and
out.
you'll be right there with us.
Hopefully I can get you guys out before midnight as we tape. It's 8:30 p.m. right now.
Bitch, if you want, Zach, I've enjoyed the time we've spent together as a family.
There you go. What? Okay. Okay.
Nope, there's no ghosts here.
Okay.
Well,
No.
So, real quick with plugs, thank you to all of our Patreons. Patreon.com/KnifePartyPod. For only $1, you can join the party, and you get episodes early and often. And soon enough, you'll be getting 2 episodes a week, where the normal feed will only be getting 1. With Knife Party After Dark, that's coming, come season 2. For the After Dark. Okay, if you want to,
I can't do it. Oh, okay.
maybe we'll all do it like at the same time, like After Dark.
We're not doing it. This is not an ASMR channel.
And also for the, I got 5 kids to feed. You get episodes of Slimek Radio and our show, The Knife Party. The show, the Power Glove Podcast, which is currently on the $1, but it's going to switch over as soon as the After Dark shows up, so that way everyone gets a tier benefit, right? Also, with the $5, send me an email at knifepartypod@yahoo.com. I'll, of course, read any questions, comments, complaints, or criticisms that you have. We haven't been getting a lot of emails in because I haven't been promoting it. So one more time, knifepartypod@yahoo.com. And then for the $20 Stop the Bike tier, you get to request episodes and be on the show. For instance, Nick Neo, who's our Beyond Platinum tier,
Plus Ultra tier.
plus Ultra tier, Yeah, he's going to actually be on the show because he wants to watch Twister, and I'm about it. By the way, show of hands, who loves Twister?
My hand is up.
Yeah, me too.
No, it's not. Twister fucking rules. It's Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt at her hottest, so go fuck yourself. And it's hilarious.
It is. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but it is. And
Dude, it is like... I think Michael Bay got all his ideas from that movie.
Explosions by Michael Bay.
Exactly. So yeah, there goes our plugs, and we're gonna go straight into it, if you will. All right. Let's do. You know what? We're gonna do this music so people don't confuse the two episodes.
I'm all about it.
I am too. When
Yeah.
I press this button.
That's the episode. Just us doing.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Fuck, that was even better. That one was better. God fucking damn it. Fucking damn it.
Okay, so some things about this movie. It was criminally underrated and bombed when it came out.
It bombed? Really?
People just didn't understand it.
There was only 10 theaters that showed it.
What?
10 when it first came out.
That's terrible.
Right? And I think I have it in front of me. I think this will, if I'm not mistaken, made 17 here, 19 million to make 47 million in box office.
So
For
not
10
bombed.
theaters,
That's slamming.
of course, that was opening day, and then so opening weekend, I believe, was all that. So they're like, hey, this movie's actually good. Now, when this movie was released to theaters, Stanley Kubrick actually fucking drove out to all of them and made phone calls to all of them, but I'll get into that next because that's in my notes, and I don't want to double dip here. So, of course, it stars Shelley Duvall, right? Scatman Crothers, and Jack Nicholson. There is a very, very small cast here.
Yes.
Those are our main characters. Now, there's some characters that you only see in a couple of scenes, and actually there's a lot more, but they were cut out of a lot of scenes, but let's go in. So it's currently rated R because there was no PG-13 at the time.
Nope.
Yeah.
There's only one murder in here. There is a lot of blood, but it's, So the rating on this, on the film I have, the Blu-ray, it says 15 in this country, 13 in this country, and 17 in this country.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I got one of those Universal Blu-rays that plays in anything.
Right.
A region unlocked. And, what didn't you say? I don't know. I haven't fact-checked you on this. Weren't you saying, Zombies, that 13 came out with Red Dawn or something?
Red Dawn. Yeah, they thought it was such an important movie because it was height of the fucking Cold War that they wanted to downgrade it, but they couldn't make it a PG, so they made PG-13. Go ahead and fact check me. I
Okay.
don't know.
So what I have in front of me is that the runtime here is 2 hours and 22 minutes, which is not true.
It feels shorter than it actually is.
It's an hour and 48. But there's multiple versions. The one I watched, there's multiple versions of this movie. There's also the theatrical version, which cuts out everything and just makes it a haunted house movie. That's a lot less running time. Because there is so much stuff cut out. Like, for instance, there's the him in the snow at the end. That actually isn't the end of the movie. The real end of the movie, which I'll get into in a minute, it makes it so it's... Oh, God, man. Okay, where to start?
Close up on the picture, right?
That's not the real end of the movie.
Okay.
The real end of the movie is a hospital scene when they actually escape.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
Ended it where they did.
then the main manager comes and visits them and then hands Danny a ball.
Oh, the ball that Jack was throwing?
Also the ball that rolled to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's playing with his cars.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's just start. Okay, so first thing, we're going to talk about the whole moon conspiracy. Now, this is probably one of the stupidest conspiracies I've ever heard, ever, and it is as such. 2001 Space Odyssey, the reason why it's weird as fuck is not because it was supposed to be a movie. It was a test to see how good they could get what it would look like to be in space for the moon landing fake.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. So there's a couple of scenes that I've seen these conspiracy theorists put together where they show a scene from Space 2001, and then they show the Apollo 11 landing.
Right.
Is it 11? It's 11, right?
It's 11.
Yeah, in 1969.
The kid's wearing the Apollo 11 shirt.
Yep.
I was just about to get to that. So they actually show them like neck and neck. Now, here's the thing, though. That happened in 1969. Am I not correct?
Yeah, moon landing was 69.
Because I remember it was right around the time of the first Zodiac killing. They were like right next to each other. Does anyone know the Apollo date exactly? I didn't write that shit down.
No idea.
No.
But it was around the summer, wasn't it?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
we
look,
have the interwebs. It's okay.
So the first Zodiac killing that was known as the Zodiac was on July the 4th of 1969. I'm almost 100% sure that the moon landing corresponded with that. That has no correlation, but
July
still
20th.
July. There you go. July 20th.
Yeah.
See? So and also too the Bryan Adams song, which kicks ass, Summer of '69, but that's actually about oral sex. He actually said it. He goes, I don't know why everyone's looking into the song like it's like the great anthem of teenage youth into adulthood when it's really just be teenage youth getting blowjobs.
I mean, that's a form of adulthood.
Yeah, most definitely. Produced by Robert Frere and Stanley Kubrick himself.
Mm-hmm.
Written by Stephen King. Now, okay, so Stephen King, the original script, Stanley Kubrick threw out
Thank God.
50 or more % of it.
Oh, wow.
Now, when Stephen King hates this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Hates this movie.
He likes The Running Man, though.
Well, The Running Man's a great movie.
Yeah. He also wrote The Running Man.
Well, get the fuck out
Yeah.
of here. Did he really?
Drop some knowledge on you.
He wrote the story, right? Not the movie.
No, he wrote the story. Yeah, the movie's based off of.
But
yeah,
the best Stephen King movie besides this, I wouldn't even consider it this, would be No Way.
Yeah.
I was joking.
Yeah, my man.
I like it. It's not the best. I like it.
Oh.
Motherfuckers, the Shawshank Redemption. The Shawshank Redemption is the best.
Okay.
Fuck off.
I can't argue that. I'm mad that I can't argue it. No.
Not like It or something?
Dude, fuck it. Clowns aren't scary. I go see them in concert
That's true.
and they throw Faygo on people.
I don't think they're scary. I know people that are really afraid of clowns, and I think they're weird.
Yeah, we're mad fresh. We come out of sewers and drink Faygo. Yeah. What up, Shaggy? Hey, Jay. You know why I love scaring little kids? That's right, Shaggy. Anyway, back to the movie. This movie was mad fresh, right? So it's about a little boy. He's got pop. Okay, no more ICP. I could do the whole review.
I know you can.
Please no.
And Mike Lynch is a bitch. That boy Mike Lynch sucks cocks. In hell. That's my exorcist reference. All right. So,
where the fuck were we?
all right, anyway. He hated this. So, there was a meeting on set where Stephen King is looking at this, he goes, I made some changes to the script, and like the changes are huge.
Yeah.
And they share a cigarette, and then Stephen King goes, I never liked the motherfucker. After we smoked our cigarette, he put it out and rolled the filter until it became a felt ball, and he opened up an Altoids box, and he put it in with a bunch of other filters rolled into a ball.
Okay.
Now, that's a very
weird, but okay.
idiosyncratic thing to do, but maybe he just didn't like fucking littering.
Yeah.
Sure,
I gotta respect that.
I kind of respect that, too.
Yeah.
But Steven thought it was weird and said, I never liked the guy after that. He just said he rewrote his movie and did one of the most crazy things I've ever seen him. And I'm like, okay, crackhead. Yeah, anyway. Oh, meth head, whatever. Same shit, right? Oh, I mean, it's white and it gets you wiry. I know meth is way worse for you, but... So, yeah, the moon to Earth back in the day was perceived to be 237,000 miles from Earth, right? Well, now we learned it's actually 238 and some change. And also room number, if you mix around, it sounds like moon room. And moon room is the room that people think that 2001 Space Odyssey was filmed. And more importantly, the before that was the Apollo 11 mission.
Right.
Now, Danny actually, when he sees the room key sticking in the door, the red room key, he stands up and he's wearing an Apollo 11 jumper, like a sweater.
Sweater, yeah.
And on top of this, the exact thing he's standing or sitting on, the piece of carpet, if you get up, it looks like the lunar lander.
I mean, I guess.
The carpet is iconic.
Yeah, that carpet is fucking iconic. I actually did the math and looked online. I could have that carpet, not like, carpeting, because I hate carpeting, but carpets throughout the whole house for about $300-$400, and I was thinking about doing it.
That's kind of cool.
And then we could get on big wheels and roll, and it'll go soft and then loud and then soft and then loud.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so let's judge this. We are going to judge this moon theory. The final piece of the moon theory is when Jack goes, Wendy, do you understand what it's like to sign a contract, to give my word, what this would do to my future if I fuck up? So apparently, according to this theory, that was his conversation with his wife about why he couldn't come out about the lunar landing stuff.
Oh, what?
The fact that
his frustration that he had to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
So the theory is Stanley Kubrick filmed the moon landing?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
And that was Kubrick talking to his wife.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
So how you guys say this on this theory? Or
Big turd.
Yeah.
Wait. All right. How say you? Zombies?
Big turd. That's
No. I need to hear the noise.
I don't have enough saliva. Hold on.
Make a fart sound. Do it.
Big turd.
All right.
Did that one come across good?
It did. It came across great.
That
Dude,
was like the longest setup for a fart sound.
I took one of those like 2
Wanted a
days
good
ago.
one. I wanted a good one. I wanted the ones where it's like you're gonna let it through, like it sounds like a fart, and then oh no, the floodgates are open and something snuck through.
So in the Evergreen household, we call that the SRFs.
Yeah.
Shitty run funds. Yeah, you with me? It's when your stomach be bubbly, but your booty be drippy.
Shits of unusual size? I don't think they exist.
Those shitty run funds. Okay, so how say you, Mr. Montana, about this theory? Okay, here's what I'm giving this. Ready? Oh. I think this theory sucks. I think it's reaching.
That's terrible.
It's a terrible theory. I think it's reaching, okay? Ooh, fun fact. You know why it's called The Shining?
Because it's polished.
No, because we all shine on. So this was actually titled from the song by John Lennon, and I think it's called Instant Karma. Yeah, it's called Instant Karma. Sorry, I'm a fan of the Beatles, but not really like them independently. I always thought they kind of like they kind of sucked without. No offense to AIM, but Crowbar and Typo Negative should just let it die. I know your new stuff is good, but there's something about those bands individually. When they do a super group, it's just not the same.
Yeah, I like the Beatles when they were on their LSD in India kick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Revolver, Rubber Soul, and Sgt. Pepper. Give it to me. And then let it be. I'll allow it. Okay.
Sgt. Pepper for sure.
So here goes another thing. Stephen King wrote this movie when he was at the Stevenson Motel, I believe it's called.
Okay.
Something like that in Colorado.
So there's one in Colorado, but it actually wasn't filmed there. It was filmed somewhere different. It was filmed, the Overlook Hotel was actually in Oregon.
Okay.
So the Denver, Colorado one was him and his wife was staying there. He had writer's block. He already did 2 novels, haven't done his third. This is Stephen King we're talking about. And he awakes and he's in a nightmare. Now, I don't know what the precursor for this was. I don't know if he was in drug use at the time, but blah, blah, blah. But he only wrote Carrie and Christine. That's it.
Okay.
And he had a terrible dream that the fire hose that they have, like the emergency fire hoses, came alive, had teeth, and attacked his son. Now, this actually happens in
Okay.
This actually happens in the 1997 TV version, which sucks. And it has the dude from Wings in it. Have you guys ever seen that?
Wings, yeah.
I love Wings.
Yeah. And but did you ever see the miniseries? It's like so close to the book.
Oh, no,
of The
I never
Shining?
watched
No.
it. No.
Okay, don't. Unless you want to laugh. We might even have to cover it because it is funny as fuck. It's pretty hard to find. I think you can find it on YouTube pretty easy. I think it was a USA original or it was a TNT original.
Oh,
But it was straight-
That sounds awful.
Straight to TV, 4-part miniseries. But because Stephen King just did the Stand miniseries, he was hot. He was on fire.
Right.
You know? And then it came out like I think 93 or 94, like on video cassette. So Stephen King was like throwing out bangers. Plus,
It was a TV special as well.
it was, and then so he was like not striking out. He's batting 1,000 on these TV made for whatever, and then comes out this turd, the early and very noticeable CGI is terrible, including a fire hose that attacks the kid that has teeth that looks like paper mache. Like, dude, Guar's effects are 1,000 times better than this. And when I say 1,000, I am not over exaggerating.
So bad CG and bad practical effects?
Yes.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Or
Fantastic.
how about almost no practical effects except for makeup?
Okay.
Also, we have, but it is true to the book. And in fact, that there is no topiary maze. Instead, what do we get? We get the topiary statues of lions that if you look at them, they're normal. But if you look away, they come at you.
They do the Weeping Angels bullshit?
In Mario 2 and 3. They do the same thing.
Mario Boo, yeah.
They do the same shit. And it even shows it in the scene where Danny's playing outside. And you're like, really, what is a shrub going to do to him? I mean, it could scratch him up.
Yeah.
I've seen Evil Dead.
Well, yeah, but those are... Yeah, but those have tendrils. These are just bushes that look like lions that are only about 5 feet tall. I mean, it could scratch you up pretty bad.
A 5-foot bush lion to like a little kid, that's going to do something.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's so not
Unless
as
he uses
scary.
the shinning on it.
It is still... Hey, don't get us sued. You guys remember that episode?
Oh, yeah.
The Treehouse of Horrors where Willie, anyway, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he calls it something else.
He goes, the shitting you want us to get sued? So there's that. There is no topiary maze, which I find to be one of the biggest, coolest things about this movie, and that's the Minotaur theory, which we will get into.
Oh, okay.
So the remake miniseries, well, it's not a remake, sorry, the True to the Book miniseries, I fucking hate it. It is worth a watch.
Nope.
But it is.
I'll watch it. Why
If
not?
you could find it on YouTube or whatever, don't go out of your way to buy it.
How long is this?
It's a mini series, so like
it's about 4 hours long.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a commitment. Yeah, no. Maybe.
Not big on commitment.
No. Don't tell my wife.
And he's the only guy I've known who's had a job for over 10 years. 11 years at the same place besides Mr.
hello.
Jonathan Fallen. You've been there 11 years?
15.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I didn't know the Hobby Lobby cared about its its employees so much. You know what's funny? Nicole now calls your place of work the Hobby Lobby.
Oh, God.
Just because she listens to the show.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, the hobby. And she goes, oh, fuck. And I'm like, we get it. You don't know.
Yeah, we know.
We know. We all know. And when you know, you know. So this movie was one of the first movies to bring back what they call Mickey Mousing. Okay, this is going to be a long explanation.
I saw a theory about that.
And you have a theory about it. Okay,
No, I saw the theory about that.
So when they did this movie, Stanley Kubrick would play music that wasn't actually used in the movie, but somehow they were able to match up every string pluck and every drum beat with every step during every suspenseful situation.
Oh,
like when Danny stands up and he sees the room key, every doo, doo.
Yeah.
But these weren't written for the scenes. These were actually classical pieces
that just happened
to coincide. They actually hired a music editor, director, just to make every scene. But when they actually filmed it, none of the original music was used. That ended up being in the film.
Right.
There were some scenes that didn't even call for music. Like it was going to be a silent scene. And
Exactly.
Then we're going to tack something onto this, and oh, hey, it syncs up.
Yeah, for instance, the scene where Jack, when he goes, I'm going to go get my fire engine, says Danny, and he goes up and he goes, and then
they have the talk together.
They have the talk,
Yeah.
and he goes, come here. And he goes, Dad, are you scared of this place? And goes, no. That initially had zero music. It's just as scary.
Yeah.
But it makes it even more scary because how the music goes, ooh, when he asks a question. And then when Jack responds, it goes, doo. And then when he asks another question, it goes, doo. And he goes, doo. And then they go, doo, doo. As they talk.
Yeah.
And it works so well. I didn't even fucking notice it. Dude, I got this DVD in. I love this movie. It is my favorite horror movie.
Okay.
And it's in my top 10. And it always has been. I remember seeing this with my Nana way back in the day and going, this is a cool movie because it's like cabin fever. And granted, I saw this when I was 7. And I really did like it because I always liked just Jack Nicholson. I just thought his faces were creepy and scary, but funny at the same time. Plus, I loved Batman '89 so much that I thought this movie came out afterward because, you're a kid, you're stupid. Let's be honest. I mean,
he's like a spooky Jim Carrey.
Hey, fuck off.
But no, the Mickey Mousing thing. The thing that got it for me is when you see him having his little tantrums as he's walking through the thing, and he's swinging at the air, and it syncs up to
dude. And did you notice too? Every time he's walking, when Jack's pissed, he's walking, and then a mirror will be there, and then he swings, and then the mirror's gone, and he does this, and then another mirror comes up, and he starts swinging again.
Yeah,
and they tie the music to that. So
going back to the mirror theory, which I have for you later.
So the whole Mickey Mousing thing is because back in the day of silent movies and silent cartoons, they would have the music tell the story, right?
Okay,
So here is the actual definition of Mickey Mousing: any action within a parallel sound in a music score is addressed exactly to said motion and or action.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go.
That makes sense.
So obviously this is correct. This can't be refuted. It's just a cool little sugar and spice on the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now let's see. Symmetrical imagery.
Yeah.
This is imagery.
Yeah.
All right. So symmetrical imagery. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if the music seems different, that's because we had a critical error, and I try to fix it and not let you guys know, but I just broke kayfabe, so fuck it. So
smooth transition.
Thank you so much. Well, you know what? This is not the first time that we've had little issues, but we try to recover from that. Anyway, going back.
Going back to the symmetrical imagery.
Yes. What do you got?
This is what I liked about it, and looking back at the colors that he used in all these scenes, the really iconic carpets, the 1970s decor and all that. It really reminded me of Wes Anderson's films. The way he frames things too. So maybe he was inspired.
Give me an example, just off the top of your head.
Like the bathroom scene.
Yeah, the
bathroom is scene, one. Yeah,
the hallway, anything where you see Actually, it also reminds me of some of the stuff he did in 2001: A Space Odyssey, where you get those longer hallway shots where they have curved ceilings or whatever, or they have a long hallway with multiple doors. Just the
unlike other Kubrick movies too, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this is one of the first films ever to use a Steadicam. I saw the making of this.
Okay.
So there's a lot of scenes that are shot low, and it's supposed to be Danny's vision, and then there's some shot midway, which is supposed to be Wendy's, and some shot high that are supposed to be Jack's. I don't know if anyone else noticed that.
I could tell the ones that were following Danny.
Yeah.
No, not following shots. Where it's actually through their eyes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's another,
I didn't realize it was perspective.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yes, it is. It's supposed to be excuse me, perspective, and I'll tell you why my theory, my final theory.
Yeah.
I took a theory that I believe in, but I also put it to another theory that I invented, the tarot theory. We'll get to that later.
Well, going with symmetry then, you know what else is symmetrical? Someone looking in a mirror.
It happens all the time. Okay, so here we go. There's a scene. They confuse... Okay, so this house is so confusing. We'll get into the house being confusing right after. Please remind me of that.
Yeah, but the thing I was going with the symmetry is the thing we get that's not symmetrical with the mirror is the mirror is something that's supposed to be symmetrical. You're supposed to see and reflect an exact image.
Yeah.
What I noticed is when we see that mirror in the bedroom, the one that eventually reveals the red rum.
Yes,
right.
It's always shot from behind, so you see Jack when he's first waking up in bed.
Yeah, I was just
he
about to
looks
get that
normal
scene.
from behind.
Yeah, when he dips his eggs and he goes,
yeah.
I don't know, I guess it will come to me.
And he looks normal in the mirror. Going forward, the next scene is the talk he has with Danny.
And it's a different mirror, and
his
it's
body
different.
posture looks like he's about to get up and run at Danny. He looks aggressive. But his face in the mirror still looks like, hi, my son, come see me.
Yeah.
So it's also kind of jarring.
Also,
Okay.
the other symmetry of this movie is the use of mirrors, like we were just talking
Yes.
about, Mickey Mousing, all those scenes. It seems like mirrors affect everybody.
Tub Girl.
Also, we first see Tony in the mirror. Do you remember this?
We do.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And here goes the weird thing. On that bathroom door, there is a sticker of a bear, and it's named after one of the seven dwarves. It escapes me at this point. But you know how they call him Doc?
Right.
One
So-
of the seven dwarfs.
So there's another seven. It's like Laffy or some shit like that.
Happy?
Happy?
No, I think it's Dopey. It's Dopey.
Dopey.
So there was a cartoon show and comic book called Dopey the Bear. Now there is a bear sticker when we first see Tony. Yes, you know, like when he's
There's
talking
also
to the mirror.
a bear thing later, too.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
I was
we'll
gonna
get there.
into
We'll
that.
get there.
We'll get there. So the imagery is such is he is talking to Tony, and you see the Dopey the Bear, and remember his name's Doc. That's something also to keep in mind.
Right.
And then it cuts to him freaking out when he sees the blood in the twins. Again, twins,
Yeah,
symmetry, and also the blood coming out. If you ever notice, the two doors have two matching lights and everything else, and if you actually look at it, it looks like a mouth.
Oh.
Now
okay.
here's something. The doctor, the next scene, he has a thing. This is something I discovered. It wasn't in any other thing because, dude, I'm telling you, I've watched this movie.
The
so
woman
much.
doctor, right?
The woman doctor
Yeah.
says, "Who's Tony? A little boy that lives in my mouth."
Right.
And then the blood.
And then the blood coming out of the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I missed
okay.
then it cuts back to Wendy, and she's watching the doctor and him, and then you see the Dopey sticker is back.
Okay. I did not
It's-
notice that at all.
So it's there, it's gone, and then it's back. That goes into one of my final theories that we're going to talk about.
okay. Your
That's
final
Tony.
form.
Yes, this is my Omega One-Wing Angel Sephiroth form. So there's that. Also, pay attention that she's wearing red in that scene where something disappears and reappears. More on that later.
Okay.
She's
now,
really pretty.
Danny is pantsless. Did that throw anybody?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have any pants, and they don't.
When the doctor's checking him in bed,
And they don't even
he's
show
pantsless.
And they don't even show if he has or has not underwear. Not that I looked, but you can't tell.
You looked a little bit.
No, I was looking because this we're going to go into the bear theory.
Also, it was
Okay.
1970s. Shorts were
Boy
as
shorts.
described.
Yes,
shorts.
Yeah, remember basketball back in the 70s? The dudes were like fucking wearing like what fucking 8-inch shorts with like a little cut in the
Less.
middle.
Yeah.
So when Danny is getting examined by this doctor, he is laying on a bear pillow.
Oh.
He is laying on a bear
I
pillow.
did not pay attention to that. Okay.
Then we cut to way later in the book. There is a guy wearing a dog furry costume. Here they change into a man bear pig costume. By the way, did you notice it's a man bear pig?
I didn't know. I just thought it was a creepy 70s like bear costume.
But
'Cause,
why does
if
the
you
face
look at a
look
lot
like
of
an-
costumes,
it looks
back
like
then, they
yeah.
look freaking terrible.
But it looks like a pig's face. It's a man bear pig.
Kind
So
of.
this is why you go back in the political thing that Al Gore is somehow related to this movie.
What?
That's just a South Park joke. Remember the man bear pig episode?
Super
I don't
cereal.
remember that. Yeah.
Oh,
No one's taking me super cereal.
no one took him cereal. Speaking of which, can you beer me, please?
I just
I don't know where
honestly,
my beers
I
are.
was surprised at the fact
Oh wait, found my beers.
that furries go back that far.
Furries go back. Now I don't know if Quebec was big into sex parties, but furries go back quite a long way.
Did he make a whole movie about sex parties? I'm pretty sure he was into sex parties.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he was interested in them, but apparently, what the fuck? I'm turning that off. So apparently that has a lot to do with that. So that movie apparently was written by fucking Steven Spielberg, which I do not believe. Eyes Wide Shut. Or it was written by him and directed by Steven Spielberg, but I thought it was a Kubrick movie, but there's a lot of confusion on that. Same thing with AI.
Oh, okay.
You know, because they'll say written and directed, and both their names will be mentioned in some websites, and then one. Anyway.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyways.
he was obsessed with pleasure parties. Now, in the 70s, the pleasure parties instead of wearing masquerade masks, well, what they did, sometimes they'd wear furries. So furries go back quite a long way. Like mid-60s, we'd say.
Interesting.
Yeah, furries did all start with Lola Bunny. That's just our generation.
But the Vikings actually did furry stuff because they would dress up as like their elder gods.
Yeah.
And like wear furs and stuff and fuck. Well, no, I mean they'd fuck that way to like make stronger children and shit.
Fucking fighting, it's all the same.
Yeah, that's why
I have those urges.
Well, not only that, that's why Hitler wanted all of his greatest soldiers to fuck on graveyards of Vikings.
I know we're doing conspiracy theories. When did we get to Hitler fucking on graves?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Hold on, wait, you got to back up.
No, we're not, because there is another Hitler thing in this movie.
God, you went zero to crazy really quick. Okay, let's do the next Hitler thing, because that one's actually in the movie.
No, it's not. Dude, it's as it appears. Okay, so now we have the bears. We did our Mickey Mousing. We did our symmetrical.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
and the mirrors. Yeah.
So anyway, So yes, the twins. There's a lot of things that repeat. Okay, now let's see. Fire engine. Remember we said the talk between Danny and Jack, but it starts off when Danny is sitting there and he's just clicking his heels, and him and Wendy are watching TV. Couple of things. Did you ever notice the TV's not plugged in?
No.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. It's in front of glass.
They did it purposefully too. You could tell because it's in main center focus,
right?
And it is not plugged in. Stanley Kubrick would not have tucked in a TV for visuals. This means something. It has to.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Danny goes, I'm bored. Can I go get my fire truck? And then he leaves to go upstairs. Now, a couple of things about this scene. Could it be that they fucked up and forgot the cord? Doubt it. Or could it be that that TV is not on?
Oh.
Or the house is haunted and it just is on. But if it's not on, this makes more sense. If the TV's not on, that means Danny, because he's facing the right way, would be looking at the snow falling out the window.
And he's bored.
And then he goes, I'm bored. Can I go get my toys?
Right.
Meaning Wendy is just staring at a blank TV.
Yeah, but she thinks it's on.
And that might have to do with like her getting like lonely, because she was reaching out to the ranger, to everyone.
Yes,
and so this is her coping with it and watching the news.
Well, and they even said earlier that like The Shining, you can see things that like other people don't see, and da da da. And so it's like he's seeing past what the house is doing to his mom.
Could be. Also, by the way, I have to give it a shout out because I did write down his name. I was looking for it, but I didn't want to like rummage through my notes and pause the show. But Gordon Stainforth is the guy. I hope I'm pronouncing that wrong.
The chef?
Stainforth. He's the guy that did the direction of just the soundtrack. He was a co-director of just making music that fit exactly every goddamn movement.
That's sick.
Well done. He did amazing. But before I knew like all the theory behind it, I just knew that this score was excellent and really fit.
It really is.
Before knowing anything behind it. I know it worked.
Okay, so here's another thing that they do. They do this a lot, and I mean Kubrick's films. They did it in Full Metal Jacket, which I believe came out in 78. I'm not exactly sure, but this came out in 80. But there's a scene, where Private Pyle does the 90-degree angle look down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's got his mouth agape. Yeah, the 1,000-yard stare. So they not only do that, hey, what's up, babies? We're doing Shining. Hey, what's up, Eli? We're doing The Shining. So they also do that with Jack. Ooh, wine's being delivered to me.
All right.
Nice.
Shannon. Yeah, you're Shannon, you son of a bitch. So they
gonna pay for that.
They also film Jack doing this.
Yeah.
And when he's looking out the window at the maze. Now this has the Minotaur theory, because did you notice his hair is kind of swept out?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it almost looks like he's the devil and
He
that's his
almost looks like
horns.
Wolverine. Yeah.
By the way, did you know this one shot is what got him Batman 89? Like you don't need to audition because of that scene.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
I believe it.
Okay.
Speaking of which, this is kind of weird. Dude, the whole thing about this movie's fucking weird. Did you know this is the most analyzed movie of all time?
Really?
Yes.
Not Wizard of Oz.
No.
Not Citizen Kane.
No, analyzed, meaning, it's not the best movie of all time, but it's the most talked about movie where there's college classes about this.
That's
Not Citizen
crazy.
Kane.
Of course,
Okay.
UC Berkeley, but yes.
Yeah.
So, guess who wanted to play and was considered for this role before Jack Nicholson?
Who?
Robin Williams.
No, that would have been terrible.
I would have loved it, though.
I would have loved it, but not as good.
Yeah.
Guess-
Because he wasn't at his serious phase yet.
No.
Yet
He was
would've
not
been,
there
like-
yet. I mean, when he got there, it was great. 100%.
Oh, yeah, Insomnia is such a good fucking
Dude,
movie.
yeah.
1 hour photo.
1 hour photo.
Right, 1 hour photo.
Oh,
yeah,
the
yeah.
I need, to
Evangelion movie,
I
yeah.
need to rewatch 1 hour photo. I really do.
Final
But
Cut was all right.
Insomnia,
That was
though,
pretty good.
because him and Pacino together are like, it's like oil and vinegar, but it works.
Yeah.
You know, they make a great dressing. So, anyway, this is not the first time. So there's a silent feud between the two. Robin Williams also made a huge stink that he did not get the Joker for 89 Batman.
Yeah, but that was a good thing.
He would have, if he would have done his serious stuff like early on, I think I would have respected him a lot more.
Right.
But I'm glad it is a good thing because I say on the silver screen, Jack Nicholson's still my Joker.
Yeah,
Michael-
100%.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill.
For,
Okay, on the
for
screen.
voice.
On the
On
screen.
screen,
Fair.
Jack Nicholson, 100%. Number one Joker.
Where do they get
Period.
those wonderful toys? Because Ledger's performance is great, but Ledger is not the Joker of comic book. He doesn't have that.
If we're
Well,
going
he's
for
kind
comic,
of like a newer comic book Joker.
Yeah, dark
Sort of
version,
thing.
yeah.
But like the Frank Miller, like
OG, yeah.
because like Nicholson was like, he was like dark funny. Like he was make these little goofy jokes, but like you could tell he just wanted to
And-
like blow your head off.
and
I
bes-
still like Caesar.
And because
Cesar Romero.
Caesar Romero. He
Yeah.
his Joker was fantastic. I liked his laugh. I liked his, emoting. And
Okay,
everything.
how do you guys feel about Bob, the henchman?
Oh yeah, the float scene.
Did you know that
the end?
Bob was also when
Bob
they're
had
destroying
bitches.
the art and he goes, "Save that one. I like it."
Yeah.
And they play Prince. And anyway, Bob was actually Jack Nicholson's friend, and that's why he doesn't have one line. And it was in his writer that him being in the movie is his number one guy.
Nice.
So,
okay.
but here and also the whole scene with the mirror and he breaks it and shit. That was
Yeah.
all improvised.
Okay.
So Jack Nicholson is the shit.
Yes.
He's good.
100%.
Now, our next episode is going to probably be fucking Batman 89. So
Yeah,
here we
it
go. A
is.
little bleed in.
Yeah.
So anyway, where the hell was I? We were talking about, yes, the stare out the window, the Minotaur theory. Before he stares out the window, you notice he stares at that topiary mage, which, by the way, is not in the book.
Right.
This was all Kubrickian shit, right?
And it was great.
It was great.
Even before they go into the maze, and do the final scene, that scene where Jack's just looking at that layout, and you kind of
The layout. Okay.
You
Yes.
see him looking down.
Thank you for
and
that
you see
segue.
them
Yeah.
walking. Like he's looking at them like playing with toys.
Thank you so much for that segue. The layout. The layout of this movie has been studied, and it is impossible. This has been studied by architects, mathematicians, carpenters, city planners. If you actually take a look at the Overlook Hotel,
Plumbers, electricians.
it is it is actually an upward nautilus, meaning a pyramid.
Interesting.
So on the bottom floor, you walk in, right? There's the lobby, right? The manager's office is okay. You know when Jack sits down and waits for the interview?
Yeah.
By the way, he's reading a Playgirl. Did you know that?
No.
And you know what it says on the Playgirl?
what?
Incest. Why do parents molest their children? More on that later.
Wow.
It does. And
That's so
Probably
weird.
thought no one's going to see this in HD
Will-
in the future.
will-
Yeah, right?
And
They got
also,
the film
why
right.
the fuck is a Playgirl there? By the way, the Playgirl magazine cover is red. Something else to note
Yeah,
to later.
okay.
So they walk through a hallway and then go in the manager's office. The manager's office has a window, which doesn't make any sense because if you see how they walk in, that window would be showing the lobby inside his office.
Oh, weird.
Okay, not only that, but when Doc and Danny and walk through the kitchens and stuff. Oh, and by the way, notice Scatman Crothers and Jack are not in a scene where they acknowledge each other whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he says hi to him once or they nod, but they don't have a full-on conversation because whenever Jack is talking, when he's in the scene, Jack's looking down at Danny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
have to
So
rewatch again.
that's another thing that you should take witness to. So there's that, and then if you look at when Danny, like some of my favorite scenes that are this movie's so fucking scary, and there's only one murder, I swear. Well, two if you count the twins, but you don't really see him get murdered. But
Tub Girl.
Tub Girl, there's no murder.
Well, it's implied that she's murdered.
We'll actually talk about that. She's not murdered, but
Oh, yeah, and we do see her in the mirror, too.
We
That's
do.
how we get revealed.
we do.
Ah.
That has something to do with the molestation theory. We'll get into that in a minute. So now we have the scene where Danny rides his bike, right? And he rides on the carpet, and then it goes silent.
Yeah.
And then it goes it's silent. And notice there's no music with that.
Right.
There's a reason why, because that's Mickey Mousing on its own. Well, the first time he does it, he's on floor 1.
Yeah.
Okay? The second time he does it, he is on floor 3, where the parents are, and he stays at, right?
Yeah, okay.
Now, the third time he does it, he starts in the kitchen and is magically teleported to floor 2, where 237 is.
Oh,
How
yeah,
does he
yeah,
start
yeah.
from the
Okay.
kitchen? How does he start from the kitchen, sees the twins, and then there's that?
Yeah.
Because, room numbers are like 137 be floor 1, 237 floor 2, 337. You get the idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So, how the fuck? Right?
Because there's no elevator. Well, no, there is.
There
an elevator.
is.
But like, yeah,
You can't,
it was-
but yeah, the bike,
Yeah.
yeah. Not only that, but if you ever notice in the beginning when he's reading that Playgirl, you see Danny's bike in the corner and it's white and red. When he actually gets it, it's blue and red.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
That's another thing too that a lot of people barely notice. And also too, you will notice the previous caretaker is super annoyed at Jack like right away.
right.
Like he's like, fuck that guy. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, so the floor design is impossible. Also, if you look at the maze, the topiary maze, it is an
Yeah.
impossible maze to figure out.
I thought about pausing it just to see if I could
thought-
get through it.
Yeah.
I didn't though.
It's impossible to get from the beginning to the center. It's just especially how fast they're able to do it. Like it would be, you would need, and they do have maps and everything else, but it just
They
seems
just go in.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, oh, we solved it. I'm like, that would look
By
hard.
the way, that dissolve, that cut is so good when he's looking over it, and then you see his face and you
Yes.
see it cut over. That was some of the earliest Photoshop CGI shit where they actually took 2 pieces of film, because that maze, when you see it from the helicopter view,
Yeah.
that's a drawing, and they just did it really well where they cut that and cut them walking at the same time.
Oh.
That dissolve is so good fucking looking,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
Like-
speaking of helicopter, there was one goof I saw. That in the opening scene when they're showing the hotel, you could see the rotors on the helicopter.
Toy Story. Let's talk about it. Toy Story has every single movie, especially 1 and 4, has many Shining references, including the carpet and including dialogue.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't seen Toy Story since like the 90s.
So,
I don't
yeah,
know.
last time I saw Toy Story, I never saw 2, 3, or 4, but I saw number 1. The last time I saw it, I think, was like 97.
Yeah.
That's when it came out.
No,
I thought it was earlier.
No,
than that.
yeah, I think it was
Oh.
96 it came out.
Okay.
97 is when I actually, because my mom, like, we were traveling around and she, like, rented it, and then we moved and she never returned it, so it was ours. And so it was one of the only movies that I had at her house because my dad and her were obviously in different, and I had all my shit at my dad's house because my mom never had permanent residence for over 3 months for like a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was just like doing van life before van life was a thing. And she had money too at this time because she just won a huge lawsuit. So anyway, that's that. Okay. So 127. there was 127 shots for the axe scene. 9 hours of filming.
Jesus. Okay.
I have seen behind the scenes where he like hypes himself
Dude,
up.
you see him,
that is such a good behind the scenes.
Dude,
yeah.
He looks insane. He looks like an insane person.
And also too, Stanley Kubrick used to make him, even though he had the shot he knew he wanted in hour like 1, right? He would do it to hour 4 on purpose. Reshoot. Sometimes he wouldn't even be filming, just so the next intense scene he'd be more pissed off, angry, and irritated.
Oh, nice.
And it would
clever.
And it would always be the next scene when he was in a scene with Wendy. So he would already be adjective, like,
yeah,
you fucking dumbass. You know, like when he would be like out on her. He did that on purpose.
Why don't you try it now and get the fuck out of here?
Exactly. Are you out of your fucking mind? Every scene with Duvall, right? He being Stanley Kubrick, would have legitimate recreation arguments with his wife and him on purpose. Or her, rather. So here's what I mean. Shelley Duvall knew nothing was going on, right? You know? And then Stanley Kubrick would recall an argument he had with his wife and dig into her.
Oh, wow.
And then on top of this, every scene where shit's going down, where mommy and daddy are yelling at each other, and Danny's there, Danny's played by a mannequin because Danny was led to believe that this was a dramatic comedy.
What?
Here's why. He wanted Shelley Duvall to be out of her fucking mind on film, for real. He wanted Jack to be losing his mind of exhaustion, and he wanted Danny to be like a happy kid, like who's just kind of confused and like, you know, whatever. And he wanted to separate them as much as possible. Didn't want them to have interaction, like not have lunch together at catering.
Is that why it feels like they don't have chemistry?
Exactly.
Okay.
Put them in separate. There you go. And it worked.
It did, yeah.
It really does shine through. Okay.
There is those moments, especially like when she comes up to him and it's just, oh, I'm going to bring you some sandwiches later. And it feels like she's like talking to someone who's about to bite her fucking head off.
Yeah.
And before he's even being a dick to her.
So now let's talk about the famous chair missing typewriter scene. The all work and no play. Okay.
Okay.
When she walks in, she's wearing red boots, by the way. And he's typing away. And she goes, how's it coming? And he goes, I think it's coming along. But instead, he goes like, when you hear me typing, stay the fuck out. You know, he says a line similar to that.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you will notice, there is two things different from this scene than originally when he's writing originally. One, the typewriter is no longer white. It's now a dark green and then later a dark blue.
Yeah.
It changes. Yeah.
It does. Yeah. It changes throughout the movie.
Also, there is a chair in the corner right over Jack's right shoulder that disappears, cuts to her, comes back. Also, whenever the chair is there, you'll see his facial expressions go from worried, concerned to angry as shit.
Yeah.
And it happens like that, right? And you will also notice that there is a book right next to the typewriter. It looks like an old leather-bound book. It is a guest book. Now, this guest book, there was an edited scene, and I think they edited it out for reasons that it made it too haunting. Because remember, this movie is originally about a haunted house that calls in people that have been reincarnated or a sacrifice of you. It's kind of like Willy's Wonderland. They need sacrifices. And even the original story was that the caretaker brings in people, the manager brings in caretakers to kill them off to appease the ghosts. Right?
Yeah.
That was actually the original idea for this, right? But not here, because Kubrick did a lot of rewrites. And so that book is a scrapbook of all the murders and everything wrong happened to him. Now, in the deleted scene, he's flipping by, and it says, Lover's Quarrel ends in suicide in the bath of room 237.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But not only that, it would have gave away the scene.
Yeah.
So, but also it talks about caretaker hacks up twin daughters, this and that, and it shows like all the murders. So it's not just like one or two murders. There's like a ton of murders. Like every single year someone dies and they sweep it under the rug kind of thing.
But that one just got
Which,
out
I mean,
for
you
some
get to later in the ballroom scene.
Yeah, the gold room scene. Yeah. So now also too, and this is actually at the end credits of the original book, or sorry, the original movie. It says the Overlook will survive. It will remain open from May the 20th to September the 20th, and it will be closed each winter. That's it. Meaning it will survive, like it's a living entity.
Yeah.
So there's the maze theory that the house itself is a maze because it doesn't make any sense,
Right.
and also the spiritual embodiment is that maze in the center where Jack eventually perishes. That it changes shape, just like the house changes shape.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, and that's kind of the haunted house theory. So let's see. The European version eliminates all these theories, all of them, and makes it a haunted house theory. That's why its running time is so low.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What about the bartender devil theory?
Oh my God, go with that real quick. I have to pee so
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
that I can hear you.
So when Jack's freaking out and everything, and he like just wants a drink, and he stumbles into the gold room.
Hiya, Lloyd.
Right. Yeah. So he sits down and he's looking around and everything. He puts his hands on his face, and it's not like super loud, but he's like, I would give my soul for a beer.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, bam, Lloyd shows up. He's wearing the red and everything like that. He's like, your money's no good here. Da da da. And he starts serving him alcohol.
Yep.
Right. And so that was one thing, like, I noticed, like, the first time and the watch through on the movie, we're just like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, he just said, like, I'll give my soul, and then all of a sudden he has all this alcohol.
Hello.
Yeah.
He would like booze. Yeah.
And like,
he knows his name.
And he knows his name.
And he knows his family, and he knows his family history.
Right.
Yes.
And so it's one of those weird things, but also kind of trips you out, because then Wendy comes, and it's all gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's when he says, are you out of your fucking mind? Now, here's the Satan theory. I'm just going to touch on that. That was coming up next.
Yeah.
So not only that, but at the end, where it says Overlook Hotel, New Year's Eve, in the book it's 1919, but in the
July 4th, 1921.
Do you notice he's doing
2021.
as above,
As above, so below.
So below. He's
Yeah.
doing 3 fingers up and 3
Right.
fingers down. And they even, when they do the dissolve transition, he's got a Hitler mustache. So, and then when the bellhop goes, you've always been here, sir. Because I've always been here. You've always been the caretaker.
Oh, the old caretaker in the bathroom.
Meaning that Jack is actually himself Satan. And he forgot.
Oh, I didn't know about that part. Okay.
Yeah, like, and then here's the other theory. Like, Wendy is, she gets the apple of knowledge by discovering who he is, and then she must go.
Oh, okay.
And then, Adam is. Anyway, the theory is cool, and I like the themes of it, but it doesn't just sit well with me. That kind of goes in the haunted house theory.
Right.
And also the when he spills stuff on Jack and he takes him in. Okay, after Jack gets his drink, remember he turns around. I think it's the second time he goes in there.
Second time.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
starts
It's all the
dance-
party and everything.
He
Yeah.
starts dancing around. Cool thing about how they film this again, he's dancing to no music. He just thought the character would be so happy he got a drink
Yeah. Okay.
that he'd dance around. And also, too, normally you go like mashed potatoes and cheese, mashed potatoes and cheese, mashed potatoes and cheese, or something of the such for background people.
Rhubarb.
Yeah, for background people to look like they're actually having a conversation.
Right.
You know, like bagels and grapes. They just say unique New York, that kind of thing. They actually did that on purpose to make it all silent. So they're actually miming. There was no background music.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of to see what Jack Nicholson would do.
Yeah.
So then anyway, the butler dude bounces into him, and he takes him to a all-red bathroom that we've
Yeah.
never seen in the movie and never
At
will
all.
see again.
Yeah.
And it's white and red.
But another one
Right.
of those shots where it's focused long ways onto the
And
door.
all mirrors.
Yeah.
The whole bathroom is covered in mirrors, and it's very symmetrical. It's got these like little arches and shit that are red, Ionic imagery and all that stuff. And then he goes, "No offense, but didn't you chop up your wife and daughters into itty bitty pieces?"
Because he knew his name.
And then he goes, "Mr. Torrance, they were naughty and they had to be disciplined," and stuff like that. And then he's like, "Huh, okay." And he
Well, he
goes,
starts off with, "I have no recollection of that," and then when Jack presses him, that's when he's, when he's like, "Okay, here's what's going on. You've always been the caretaker."
so the Satan theory. Yeah, do you have any more on that? Because I have a little bit, but I don't want to dominate.
That's what I had. Yeah.
But you will notice when you rewatch it, he's got As Beloved, So Below, which is a tarot card, which is my theory here. I'm going to put in that no one noticed but me. Nobody. Swear to God.
The most analyzed movie ever, and Zach has an original thought on this.
No one's brought this up. Well, hey, man, you know what?
Maybe you do. I'm just saying.
It is actually possible. It is 100% possible.
I'm just saying it's impressive if it's true.
So that's the Devil Tarot card. This tarot card is called the Nine of Swords.
Yeah. I know it.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So the Nine of Swords means impending doom. It shows a person in a bed with their hands held, right, or head held in hands, with 9 swords on the back of their head in the background.
Right.
Meaning it's not going through them, it's not damaging them, but it's in the foreground. When Scatman Crothers first tells them about The Shining, and he goes, we just see their face going back and forth.
Right.
And then he goes, are you scared of this place? And then there's a long pause, and he goes, places have a shine just like we have a shine.
Places are like people.
Now, here's an important thing. He goes, the images, the visuals you will see, the ghosts, they're just a repeat. They're just a stain. They're just a shine. They can't actually hurt you.
Right.
Now, he says they cannot actually hurt you.
Yes.
Okay? Remember that. Right after this is said, we get a long cut where we see them both, and you see a magnetic knife sheath, and there is 9 knives above his head.
Nice.
I counted and zoomed in because it looks like there's only 8, but there's 9. Meaning he's saying impending doom is coming, and they're right above his head. So this is something I saw that no other internet thing. So you're fucking welcome. 9 of Swords is The Shining.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's actually kind of sick.
Yeah.
I bet you if we look into it, we would probably find most of the tarot cards in there somehow.
Yeah, I was actually going to rewatch it and look for the patterns because there's another pattern in the bedroom. 237, the carpet pattern's different. Notice it's blue and purple.
Right.
That's also in another tarot card.
Really cool.
Okay. Well, even like the normal carpet pattern, you could say is the cups.
You can. And the 5 of Cups, as they would stack, there'd be 5 squares.
Right.
5 of Cups, if you actually see the tarot card, 2 are up and 3 are gone.
Yeah.
2 are up and 3 are gone.
Yeah.
Right? Like the family, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So, and also that is the card of despair.
Yeah.
So you have that. So there's my tarot card.
I wonder if he rewrote the whole thing to be like this tarot card movie.
I don't know. Because he also edited them themselves. It's not like someone came in and edited it and made it how they wanted it to be.
Right.
So now I'm thinking the days of the week, and then the time stamps that
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
8 might be like 8 of fucking,
Oh, you're fucking right. Like 3 might be 3 of something.
Yeah.
Wow.
4 p.m. It's like
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know my tarot cards that well, but it's 4 of whatever bullshit, 4 of diamonds. I don't know. Fuck.
Also, too,
based on tarot, actually, your bicycle cards. Yeah.
So you're also the day of filming starting, the day of the day that the Torrances move in for the first day.
Yeah.
After closing day, because closing day is that it is actually October 31st. If you do the math.
Oh, because they do 1 month later.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first transition, 1 month later.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. Let's see. Now, there's also the Indian theory, which I don't really...
Oh, yeah, because I say it's Indian burial ground on there.
That's some normal Stephen King-ass bullshit.
I mean, yeah, that's like a classic horror movie. It was an Indian burial ground. Well, I don't know.
Some of the set was made before, and it went to Stephen King's, and there's a lot of Indian imagery. And in fact,
well, yeah, like the stained glass and everything, and the main writing room and all that.
Also, the original, instead of the blood coming out of the elevator, in the original script, it was an Indian fertility mask. That looks super creepy.
Oh, okay, that would be pretty creepy.
And then they flipped it to that.
The blood is better.
But the blood is better. Also, the blood represents menstruation, so it also has to do with fertility.
Coming out of the mouth?
No, coming into a hallway.
Oh, okay.
Like two ovaries kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of yonic imagery and phallic imagery in this. Okay, so the bat axe reaction, was super real. So when this is another thing too, did you ever notice that walking backwards saves you in this movie? Retracing your steps?
Yes.
It is, a reoccurring thing.
So when Wendy nails Jack in the head with a bat, she is walking backwards.
Yeah.
When Danny saves himself from Jack, he is walking backwards.
Which was really smart for a kid his age.
Here goes the other thing.
Well, he's got the Shinning.
Yeah,
When also too, the cat, the snow cat that Scatman Crothers parks
Yeah.
is facing west. Later on, when Wendy comes out, it is facing east.
Is
Backwards.
I thought she backs
it?
it up.
No, she turns it
I
around.
thought we see that happen.
No,
I don't know.
yeah, she turns it around the way it should be going.
Yeah.
It's parked backwards.
Interesting.
Now, here goes another weird thing about this whole shit, right? God, did you even know that we were going to be going this deep into this movie?
No.
You're probably going to be telling me something, but like, there's little quirks that I saw, and you're probably going to have a theory for it. Like, when he leaves room 237 for the first time, when he stops, looks, goes up to it, and leaves, he gets on his bike and he push starts his right wheel.
Oh, yeah.
I did notice that.
Why?
But that's like a big wheel thing, though, isn't it?
No, because the big wheel in front is the one that's driving it. Why would he push start on the right?
This is very interesting. I do
And
remember
maybe
that.
There's probably a theory about it, you know?
You know what? To be honest with you, that wasn't in the cut I watched, but I have seen that cut. I had the really long one.
Yeah, it was in the cut I watched.
So I have the master cut, and the master cut's the one that everyone kind of agreed on because the long cut was never in theaters.
How many cuts are there? Did they Blade Runner this thing?
There's 3 cuts.
Yeah, they Blade Runner this thing. Fucking great.
All right. Okay, here goes another thing. All right, so check it out. The axe reaction was also real. So when the script originally called for a mallet, because that's what's in the book, right?
Okay.
Stephen King goes, I want to, the mallet, because it would make sense because it's at this country club, and why would they have like any other weapon? And then Stanley Kubrick's like, idiot, you have a fire hose, meaning they have fire safety equipment. Why wouldn't they have an axe?
Yeah, of course.
Now, they had this fake door for them to beat down with a mallet, and then Jack Nicholson goes, hey, I used to be a volunteer fighter, so
Yeah.
I could get through that door in no time.
Yeah.
So when he's psyching himself up, that's when they finally decided to go, put a fucking real door on there, get an axe.
Yeah.
And then that's the one they kept. And then here's Johnny. Stanley Kubrick never watched The Tonight Show, ever. He didn't know who Johnny Carson was.
Oh, okay.
But so was that ad-libbed?
It was ad-libbed, and also there was no makeup on that. They have that honey glazed ham look because they've been filming that scene for fucking 9 hours.
He's sweaty.
And that's why Shelley Duvall's look in the corner is like one of the scariest faces you will ever see in any horror movie when she's holding the knife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, here goes another thing, and this is if you
good scream too. I put her
Amazing
never
scream.
screamed.
Yeah.
This might be the scariest scene in any horror movie, even if you watched it, just like the true terror of your husband's going to kill you with an axe and does not even care that your son is in here and you have a knife and you're screeching for dear life.
Yeah.
Now, here's another thing, and this will go into my final theory. Do you notice when he's swinging from the east to the west of camera, so from the right to the left. But then it switches over where he's shooting from the left to the right.
Yeah.
Now, this is not possible. There's no way that camera could fit on the other side. They did that on purpose. No other thing I watched, this is another thing that I discovered that no one else says, there's not enough room for the camera to be on the other side. Meaning, they did that for a reason. Now, here goes my reasoning. If you ever go to film school, they will show you Terminator, or at least they used to, as when Reese is from the left and the T-800 is on the right.
Yeah.
So you know who the good and the bad is, right? Now, at first, Shelley Duvall, is on the right, and he's on the left.
Yeah.
Right? Or no, sorry. First, he's attacking from the right, the right to the left, and then they switch over where he's to the left to the right, and she's on the other side. Meaning,
I don't remember that.
Is she the bad guy?
No. She's best girl.
Let's get into the Wendy theory.
The Wendy theory.
Here we go. Here is
that
what
music cue up was amazing. By the way,
that was fantastic.
Yeah,
that's why it's called radio. Let's start. We talked about Dopey, the bear.
yeah.
Okay. Then when we see a scene with her wearing red, and she's watching the doctor talk to Danny, do you notice she's staring at him like, don't say shit, don't say shit, don't say shit, don't say shit?
Yeah, she got the battered
She's
wife
like
syndrome.
very like pensive.
Yeah.
She got battered wife syndrome.
Then the sticker is gone, then it reappears. Now, next scene. We go, oh, by the way, a little quick thing I like to mention, especially in red, in the original book, Jack and family are in a red Volkswagen.
Okay.
But then when Scatman goes to, but they're driving yellow in the movie.
Yeah.
But then when Scatman's driving up to go get them, to go save them, you see a red vehicle smashed by an 18-wheeler.
On the side of the road.
Yeah.
It's a red bug. So
Okay.
a lot of people consider that as a fuck you to Stephen King after they got into it. So anyway, but
nice.
that's neither here nor there. Okay, let's go on next. During the interview, he's reading that red, Playgirl. There is a book on the table during the interview, right? And I had it written down, but it's basically a DSM. You know, what psychiatrists refer to, like, for mental illnesses and stuff. And certain people apparently have went insane reading this book. That's what a lot of people say.
Weird. Okay.
So it's there when Jack's there, and then their manager goes like, "Do you feel comfortable after what happened here?" And he tells him his story, and he goes, "My wife loves horror stories and true crime, and she loved this place." And then he calls her. And after she gets off the phone with him, that's when Danny sees his first Shining.
Yeah.
Right after the phone, she got the job. Remember?
Yep.
Okay.
He's gonna call Mrs. Dorrance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So after this, they drive up, and Jack has a look on his face like, I'm tired of you guys, because, like, he's like, I'm hungry. And he goes, you should have ate your breakfast. And, and he's like, what's a cannibalism? He just asked that, and he goes, well, the Donner Party, and he explains that.
Well, yes, about the Donner Party. He said he knew what cannibalism was from television.
Yeah, because it was on
See?
TV, and he's like,
And he goes,
okay, because
I
it
know,
was on TV.
But he gives a look to his wife, and he goes, see, it's because it's on TV. Meaning, did Jack think that she taught him about that? Now, furthermore,
okay, but letting him watch too much TV.
and horror movies, remember?
Yeah,
The horror movies.
okay.
So then, you will notice that when Scatman is showing him around, they go into the freezer, and also in the very beginning too, when you see him in the kitchen, there is Kool-Aid on top of the refrigerator
And Tang.
Okay.
No, just Kool-Aid. But then later on, when Scatman's showing him around, the Tang is gone and it's replaced by Kool-Aid. When you see it through his perspective, and then when it flips back, the Kool-Aid is replaced by Tang. Kool-Aid is red, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Not only that, the freezer door does
red
not
Kool-Aid
have
is
that
red.
long handle coming out. It doesn't have a handle at all.
Well, no, that was the pantry door.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The freezer. The
Okay.
Yeah, the pantry is the one she locks him in where it has the push button.
Yeah.
Yeah, they walk in there and it's not there. Because remember, he's pointing out the ice cream and everything else.
Okay.
That is not there. Also, there is a safety lock that is there, and then it's not there later. Also, there is a fucking light switch that's there and not there. Now, riddle me this. Do you know how hard it would be to take that up, put it back down, take that up, put it back down? That was not a continuity error. They did it on purpose.
Really?
They had to have. Stanley Kubrick
other
does
than
not make
retiling.
mistakes. Again, with a mistake, the missing cord from the TV.
Right.
She is watching a blank TV, but she's actually seeing what she wants to see.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, another thing.
It is established that she does have the Shining.
And remember, she's wearing red again. Now, the whole scene with the typewriter, right? Okay, that's when the typewriter changes colors. That's when the the chair flips around like it's gone and then it's there. Also, she rocks over a bare rug carpet, but it's not there when you see Jack's perspective. Also, Jack, after, he yells at her about going in the room, he has a look when she leaves like, what just happened? Meaning he's confused at her behavior.
Oh.
Not the other way around.
Right.
Okay, further evidence, all right, of this. Okay, the ghost can't hurt you.
Yeah.
When Danny is playing there with his trucks and the ball rolls up, he goes, hey, Mom. Mom? Now, he doesn't say, hey, Mom. He goes, Mom? Mom?
Right.
And the door is open with a red key.
Yeah.
And then he comes down minutes later, sucking on his thumb with his throat ripped, and he's injured like someone was choking him.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Tub Girl. You're saying it was Wendy that did that.
Oh. Ooh, this
Also,
is good.
this. Every time that Jack and Danny are in a room, everything is the same. Every time she enters a room, everything changes. And I'm talking to the chandeliers, to missing items on the shelf, meaning, and this especially happens when she's not in the scene, meaning everything's in her fucking head. She's the one that's crazy.
Okay.
She's the one that kills Jack. She throws him in the freezer and then carries him outside a lot earlier. Or doesn't even throw him in the freezer because how the fuck would he get out? Here's another thing. At the end of the movie, when he's sitting there covered in snow,
Yeah.
that's not one night of snowfall.
No, he's been out there for a minute.
He's all the way up to his shoulders.
Right, right.
Is it meant to be the next day, or is it meant to be like beginning
It's supposed
of
to
the
be the next
season?
morning.
Oh.
So
I just figured because it was like a blizzard thing, like you're going to get hella snow. And
not
he
in a
probably
maze.
fell to his
not
knees.
in a maze. Not in a maze, dude.
Okay.
Dude.
I don't know. I'm not from anywhere where that's ever had snow, so I don't know.
So there's other things. The color red, the whole thing with the bears. Also, she's the only one who goes downstairs and sees the skeletons and the guy with bleeding. He goes, great party, huh? And
Yeah,
he cheers.
yeah.
All that shit only she sees. The only thing that she or Jack sees that Jack sees that she doesn't is the whole bar scene.
Right.
But remember when she walks in, there's nobody there. And he's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Meaning
She might have missed it.
meaning it's all in her head. I bet you he's down there drinking. Oh, I bet you he's in the room doing this. Oh, I bet you he's doing that.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's schizophrenic
Yeah.
and she's got cabin fever and her imagination is going so crazy because there's looks on his face where if you were to take the scene with Danny and Jack one-on-one, that looks like a very beaten down husband who doesn't know what to do with his family.
So what Jack said,
Right.
So what Jack said to the bartender is true then, that she'll never fucking let me live it down. She brings it up all the fucking so
Right. It was like 3 years ago, and she's never fucking
it
stopped
was an
talking about
and
it.
he hasn't drank in since.
Yeah.
Maybe he's confessing his sins to the bar like, she'll never let me down, like, fuck that. Meaning,
he was right.
exactly.
Oh,
Because earlier she says he hasn't drank in 5 months, but then at the bar scene, it's been like 3 years.
Here goes the other thing.
So she might have been thinking he was still drinking the whole
Not only
time.
that,
maybe.
Scatman may not exist. You were talking
Dick
about...
Halloran don't exist?
Remember, Jack never makes actual, like, a lot of conversation. He could be just talking to her
But
or
he
the
was
kid.
introduced via the...
Via the manager.
It still could be. Here's what I mean. When Wendy calls the sheriffs, right?
Right.
It's a different scene than when Jack destroys the shit. Because when Wendy goes in there, right? Or sorry, when Jack goes, and when one of them go in there, the nameplate of the manager is missing, and then it reappears. Also, too, the lighting's way different. The lights are in different positions. There is no light switch, and it's dark in that one. So when Jack beats that up, it's like it's a continuity error. And also, too, the snowcat is colored red. It's destroyed by Wendy because Wendy just harpens upon it, right? She also grabs the knife that's above Danny's head that's in the original shot with Scatman.
Okay.
Scatman is murdered, right? But Scatman could be murdered by Wendy because Jack's already dead at this point. And he's the only one that knows if he does in fact exist.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Kill the last witness kind of thing.
Right.
So Scatman, like, also in the really, really long version, he calls up and he goes, I don't think the family is continent to be there. I think they're incapable of being there, so I'm going to go over and go ahead and take over.
Yeah.
He says that on the phone, and then he books that Continental flight. By the way,
Right.
didn't you see that airplane? You're like, fuck, that's Coach. It's fucking like a lounge, little lamp, smoking, all that.
Yeah.
And he's got so
The leg room. The leg room.
now let's go to the masturbation theory. I'm going to just cover this real quick.
Capitalism.
It's because the bear
Said that a lot.
the bear represents Jack. Every time Danny is molested, hurt, or anything else, or has his pants off, there's a bear. And that's Jack's a child molester. And a lot of
Oh, man.
and that is like the weakest theory.
Yeah.
So I think that it all being in her head and she's actually the murderer, by the way, is more Stephen King-ish than it being a haunted house. The reason...
I don't know. I feel like that's more of like a M. Night Shyamalan sort of thing.
But hold on. Here goes the Minotaur theory. Why does Wendy want to kill Jack? Or think this. There's a scene... Okay. Jack has that hair that makes it look like horns. He also wields an axe, which Minotaurs do. And there's also a maze where he looks over his victims and then chases them within that.
Yeah.
The Minotaur. Now, in the mythology, the Minotaur always gets lost in the maze, so once you escape the maze, he can't chase you. But once you're there, you're in his realm. So she actually thinks that he's a monster, and he's like, the whole thing about him watching over, that's all in her mind and shit.
Oh, okay.
So she thinks she's actually killing, like, the devil, as we said before.
Yeah.
But she's just crazy.
But she's just crazy.
Right.
So, God, we went deep on this. Okay.
Everyone knows it's Wendy.
So, how say you guys? What do you think? Let's go round robin. Zombies, what do you think?
As far as that theory?
No, as far as everything I just said, like what actually do you think is cohesive? What makes sense? What doesn't make sense?
The Wendy theory has its points, but I don't think it's where Kubrick intended, and I don't think it's, what we're supposed to take away from
Now,
it.
Kubrick
It's
doesn't
interesting.
play fuck around with his messaging. He just obfuscates it.
Yes. He's not going to confirm or deny anything.
So you're going with haunted house?
I'm leaning
Or reincarnated, like dead?
I'm going with slow descent into madness mixed with a little eldritch horror elements of just there's something wrong with this place.
So you're saying it's like Lovecraftian, cabin fever. Do you think everyone's crazy or just Jack?
I think everyone's crazy because you guys Supernatural also crazy because she has the Shining because she's seeing the bear, the skeletons and stuff like that.
But only at the very end,
Only at the very end. Or
Right.
also maybe she's seeing stuff and doesn't realize that it's spooky, like the TV.
Yeah.
So I think they all have the Shining. I think that's why maybe he's so powerful, why Danny's so powerful, is because he has two parents that have it a little bit.
Oh, that makes sense. And that's why Jack is able to talk to the ghosts and not realize that they're not there. Dude,
Yeah.
that's another theory no one even talked about. That makes sense that they're both psychic, so their kid is super psychic,
Yeah.
and that makes them all nuts.
Another thing that might work, I need help with this one, is I noticed I am not the king of fashion here. I am doing this in basketball shorts and a Philadelphia Eagles t-shirt. So
I'm wearing a Magic the Gathering t-shirt, okay? I'm way nerdier than you are at this point.
fair.
Yeah, I think I win this one.
So I'm looking at...
You were all black because you know Bray Wyatt died, so it's cool.
Yeah.
in memoriam. So something I noticed, and maybe it's a product of the 70s, there are certain characters. There is the head of the hotel, Jack, and Dick Halloran all wear ties that aren't like your normal silk tie.
Oh my God.
They're textured.
Dude, Jack's green tie in the interview is a copy of the Hedge Maze. I didn't mention that.
Okay. I knew there was something about it because the ties look weird. They're textured. They look like crocheted almost.
Yeah, another...
Oh,
But it's
okay.
only those three characters.
And there's only one carpet that you see that's does Halloran have the blue tie or is that Scatman?
Halloran, Scatman, same guy.
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant the manager. Fuck.
Managers has a red tie.
Yeah, so each of their ties are I wrote that down and forgot to even mention it. Each of their ties are referred to a different room. The blue tie is actually their master suite. There's a blue, it's the only place where there's a blue carpet. And then the red carpet, obviously, throughout the house.
Right.
And then the green tie is only outside. So that's, again, the Minotaur theory thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Interesting.
No,
Okay.
that's something I noticed that stuck out to me, and I'm like, that's weird. Why are they wearing like crocheted ties? And I'm like, okay, it's alluding to something because it's 3 main characters.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was something else that stuck out to me. But overall, I'm going to give it to it's a slow descent into madness with some spooky elements scattered amongst.
How about you? How about you, Antonius? What do you think?
I mean, I'm kind of right there. Yeah, like the whole like, I don't know. I guess like possessed house or haunted house sort of thing that's making them go
So
crazy.
do you think the house is living, like it's changing its shape and everything else, or?
I don't know about that because I don't know. I guess because I didn't really pay attention to like.
I know all
the
y'all are
layout
gonna. I know
sort of thing.
everyone in this room is going to rewatch this movie this
Probably,
week.
yeah.
'Cause
I
I
just
definitely
rewatched it, but I'm gonna rewatch it again.
You have to.
Yeah, but yeah, like definitely like possessed house that's making them go crazy. I did kind of feel like Jack is definitely the main crazy, but Wendy was also going crazy about halfway through, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I just felt bad for Danny.
Okay, so I originally came in kind of with both of you a little bit. I thought that the house was haunted. Danny was the antenna of the energy, and it kind of wore off on Jack, and Jack kind of went a little mad, but I thought the ghosts were real. Now looking back at all the evidence, rewatching this movie, diving deep for 4 fucking hours. Well, to be fair, it was 3.5, but still, that was 3.5 total because I had to take little breaks and stuff. I had to take poopies and eat some foods. And I'm telling you, the Wendy theory makes more sense. Akron's razor, dude.
Occam's razor.
Well, I'm not playing fucking
More
Batman.
of a Gillette guy, personally.
I don't.
It's not Dan Aykroyd's razor.
That's a woke company. I use Jeremy's razors. So I think the Wendy theory, because before they even go into the house, things are apparent that shit is wrong. Disappearing items, changing of backgrounds, changing of all this stuff. There's way too much to be continuity errors because, I mean, they redid the fucking chandeliers, for Christ's sake. You know how hard that would be on a set to go, cut, change the chandeliers, cut.
They changed the chandeliers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, all the lighting is changed when Wendy is not there, meaning that's her imagination. So that's the theory, is that whenever you see Jack or Danny alone, it's all her imagination. That's the theory, is the Wendy theory. And then she goes nuts and thinks Jack's Satan and like a demon and a minotaur and everything else, and that's why she kills him and throws him out in the snow.
It has some points to it.
It has a lot of points.
It does, yeah.
So here's the thing right now. We could rewatch, or we could review this. The plan was to review this movie now after all these theories. Do you want to take a rain check on it, rewatch it, and then come with a full review? It's up to you guys.
That might not be a half bad idea.
I'd be fucking down for that, especially with all of this.
Rewatch it again, new perspective.
Yeah,
I mean, that's something we tell our listeners to do.
We should
really be doing it too.
Especially that we just did 2 fucking hours on The Shining.
Yeah,
you're shitting me. We're at 2 hours.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's like an hour and a half, but we had some poopies and some.
Yeah. No, it's like we went longer than the runtime. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So we should come back. So I'm going to name this episode 237.
Nice.
And
okay.
Room 237. And then it's obviously not about the documentary. And then we'll come back and we'll do The Shining proper after we do Batman. Or do you want to do this? Or do you want to do this?
We'll do this next.
We'll do this next, and then
we don't want to leave them hanging for too long.
Okay, so I'll flip around the episode numbers so that way they line up.
Okay.
Cool.
One more thing then, if we're going to take some time away from this.
Yeah.
I got one more thing to throw out.
Well, we do have, if we're not going to do the other movie, we have After Dark to do, so that's cool.
Okay.
Our new show. Show. Are you ready? On a 1, on a 2, and a 3. After Dark. All right.
That was a 1-900 number call, man.
There it is.
Anyway.
Welcome to the party line.
One more thing we need to look at is mental illness in this. Because something about the way Danny doesn't look people in the eye when he talks to them.
You're right.
Deadpan, doesn't show his emotion.
Also, I think
he
Danny
lines his cars up in rows and stuff.
That's something actually kids do.
right.
Did
yeah,
did you also notice that he's wearing a jersey that says number 42? Also, the number 42 is synonymous in this movie. For instance, there's 42 cars parked in the parking lot when they do the overhead shot.
the life, the university, and everything.
Yeah, and there's so many number 42s like throughout this.
Was this before or after Hitchhikers came out?
This is 1980, and the book was 1978.
I think a little earlier than that.
You
Actually,
think?
Yeah.
Well, the movie was the one that has the 42 in it.
Yeah. The book didn't have. Dude, Stephen King gets paid by the word. He writes 500-page books, and I swear to God, that guy just like writes whatever. He never edits. They always say, "Write
just like us."
Well, no, because we actually do what good writers do. Like Poe, we record drunk and edit sober.
Wait, we edit?
What I mean is, I take notes.
Yeah.
I take notes drunk and do this sober, or at least sober as you're going to see me.
Okay.
Hey, man, I'm only 3 beers in. Okay. Okay, 4, but still.
I am 10% beers in. Okay, I am fine right now.
All right, so coming up next is going to be episode 90, The Shining. This was a lot of fun.
This was definitely a lot of fun.
That was a fucking lot of fun.
Cool. All right, guys. From all of us, Knife Party, remember to be kind, rewind. And don't forget to check us out on patreon.com/knifepartypod. For only $1, you can join the party. Go ahead and send us emails. We'll answer them on the new show, Knife Party After Dark. And that's at the $1 level. Remember, for only $1, you can join the party, dude. I guarantee $1 you're not even going to miss. And for all our freebie listeners, we're going to still come at you. You're still going to get your great content, but you're only going to get half it because, dude, we've already done like 100 episodes for free. You could back listen to them all. Eventually, give us $1 and you get double. So there you go. And of course, that's just where it starts. And I think that's all in. I got to do another shout out to Nick Neo. I love that man, even though he's got the personality of like milquetoast. But we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that.
That's not true. You got to meet him.
Well, maybe he was just gun shy on the little inner tubes there.
Been there.
So, and anything else from you guys? Anything to promote?
No.
Donate to the families on Maui.
Yeah.
There you go. Not to the Red Cross, though.
Yeah,
Not
no
to
federal
the-
organizations.
Yes.
No feds, yeah.
Go straight
Donate
to GoFundMe.
the families. Donate
Yes.
to the families. The families on Maui.
For every $1 you give to the Red Cross, those families see about 0.3 cents. So
If they see it.
If they see it at all. So yeah, go to the GoFundMes. Terrible tragedy. If you're on an island and it's on fire, that's just like a fucking horror movie in itself, right?
Yep.
I mean, that really could be a movie.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. It was awful.
It is awful. All right. So be kind, rewind. And with that, I think I have to return some videotapes. Good night, everybody. Love you.